Alright guys, so it's going to be a level 30 build for the Dragon Knight, obviously playing as a Dark Elf, which I highly recommend for a Dragon Knight. As you can see, the racial abilities all emphasize on sort of fire and magic kind of thing. Obviously always ignore that, but it just suits the Dragon Knight better because everything's like more fire stuff, and obviously this is a big flame resistant thing, and every mob uses fire spells more than any other type of like ice and lightning magics. Right, so obviously I'm doing two-handed sword and sword and board, mainly sword and board because one, you're in heavy armor anyway, and so it's easy to do the tanking in dungeons because tanks are hard to find. So also this is a good survivability for PvP if you're doing that as well, because if you're ever the one raiding a sort of castle wall and you got a million things shooting at you, it's better to block with a sword and shield against magic than it is blocking with anything else. So it's just better for survivability in most things. But anyway, the skills I'm using, actually first, basically I'm just chucking everything on magic and health because all your abilities are magic based, and the only time you really use stamina is for like one weapon ability or when you're blocking. So I'm not really heavily focusing on the stamina sort of thing, so it is just mainly these two. Obviously my armor is all heavy, it's all the seducer just to make it cheaper for my magic. Everything's recovery as well as magic recovery. I'm just got a text, cool. Yeah, so that's basically everything. Seducer. Well, that's not, I've got that in a dungeon, but that should be seducer if I need to go create one, and that as well. And the enchantments, they're just everything's health and 3 magicka, and this is flame for obvious reasons. Right, so abilities I'm using currently, it's carve. I would like to try momentum, but I'm using carve just because it hits through everything and increases your ultimate for each person hit. 3 ultimate for each person hit. You can have like 3 people in front of you. Do that 4 or 5 times. You know, you quickly shot your ultimate up a lot faster. So that's why I'm using that, just because it's quite cool hitting everything at once. I'm using unstable flame. That's incredibly strong. You know, the tick damage on that's amazing. The burning talons, the green dragon blood, and the volatile armor. Just so you, because when you're using one-handed sword, I mean, well, two-handed swords, you haven't got as much armor as you have with sword and board, or so this helps you boost yourself a little bit more, so you can take the beats a bit better. And the two-handed sword is either the taunt, or sometimes I'm using defensive posture. I'll get that to absorb magic later on. In fact, I'll just chuck that on now. The igneous weapons, just because you can see it boosts everything for 1.2 minutes. Yeah, and it boosts your attack, gives you flame damage on things. Stable flame, burning talons, and green dragon's blood. Right, so what I normally do is I've got my two-handed sword. If I'm gonna fight something, I'll just change to my one-hander, boost myself with the flame, and I've got the extra flame damage now. So I only need to have it on 1 slot, and then I can actually fight things. So obviously I'll do a bit of fighting just like this so you can see. Here we go. Alright, so I always trap things, and then I'll just tick damage everything. Yeah, just get the ticks on them, trap them again, just carve through them, just carve through, and everything's pretty straightforward. I find this to be easy survivability wise. There's no big dramas with anything, especially like when you boost yourself, the supreme amount of defense that the volatile armor gives you, it makes life a lot easier. So I always try and trap things, try and give everything the ticks. As you can see, the amount of ticks that's coming up is really impressive, and you just keep trapping things, and it's very straightforward. And obviously when you need to, your green dragon's blood, just because it gives you a fantastic regen. Right, so the ultimate is Standard of Might, always, for both sides, because once you're in Standard of Might and you have your Ethan Heart, you then have a thing called a Battle Roar. So it restores your health, magicka and stamina by 70% when you cast your ultimate. And this, if you read it, I'll read it out for you. Enemies take 76 flame damage per second and receive 50% less healing for 17 seconds, while Standard of Might caster deals 19% more damage and takes 19% less damage. So, and also everyone can activate a synergy. Right, so that's pretty damn good. So you're able to do more damage and take less damage. All your guys can synergize with the Burning Talons, so everything's getting flame damage, everything's immobilized, and obviously it's taking 99 damage over time. With the Unstable Flame, they're getting tick damage, so it's just everything's just getting tick damage to crap. And obviously Volatile Armor stopping you taking as much damage, and also it's dealing damage back every time they hit you. They take on 40 damage for each hit, and that lasts 20 seconds. So that's kind of the build. My guy, he is also obviously full heavy. So I'm just getting all the heavies that I can. Your guild, obviously you're just trying to get these when they pop up. Always try and get all these. Or if you haven't read them, increase your weapon damage, spell damage, blah blah blah, goes up to 9%. That gives you extra 9 ultimate once you've got 3 out of 3. What else is there that you need? It would be, let's see, when you get your passives, just get your passives on. You know, it increases your status effect with burning. That's what you're after, is the burn. So once I've got the second one on that, that'll be really impressive. There's that 47. Oh, I got ages to look at that. But yeah, that's kind of it for the build. It's very effective. Yeah, I can't recall dying ever. It's really easy to just do things and survive because you've got that huge heal, and you've got your awesome like defense. See, my armor now is at 1,404, and yeah, I'm only level 30, like 28 gear and level 30 gear. But that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. It's pretty damn good for everything group wise and solo wise. Survivability is fantastic. Even though I've got full heavy, I still seem to be able to do a lot of magic stuff without any worries. And that's kind of it, guys. Don't forget to give a like, subscribe, comment, obviously everything I enjoy, and also share my videos so more people can see. And that's it. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.